Let me tell you something you won't hear from motivational speakers or positivity gurus. Success has nothing to do with luck, hard work, or good vibes. The world is a chessboard, and most people are just pawns waiting to be sacrificed. But not you. Not anymore. You're here because you've realized the truth. Those who always land on their feet aren't blessed by fate. They're manipulating it. This is Machiavellian power in its purest form. Not evil, not cruel, just ruthlessly effective. Over these 5 lessons, I'll show you how to stop being a spectator in your own life and start being the puppet master. These aren't feel-good platitudes. These are battle-tested strategies used by history's most powerful figures to turn chaos into control, enemies into stepping stones, and random chance into calculated victory. By the time we're done, you'll see the world differently. And more importantly, you'll know exactly how to make it work for you every single time. Lesson 1. The illusion of destiny. How to make them believe you're favored by the gods. The greatest trick the Machiavellian mind ever pulled was convincing the world that their success was inevitable. Think about every overnight success you've ever seen. The truth is, there's no such thing. What you're actually witnessing is someone who has carefully crafted the appearance of destiny. When Steve Jobs returned to Apple, he didn't say, "I hope I can fix this company." He declared Apple is going to revolutionize industries again before he'd even started. That's the power of speaking your success into existence. Here's how you do it. First, never reveal your doubts or struggles publicly. Every setback becomes part of the plan in your storytelling. Second, use prophetic language. When this takes off, not if this works. Third, create patterns that look like destiny. It's funny how every time I've failed before, something better came along. The psychological effect is devastating. People start seeing your success as preordained, which makes them more likely to support it. Employees work harder for a chosen one. Investors bet bigger on a sure thing. The media covers you differently when you're framed as inevitable. This isn't just positive thinking, it's psychological warfare. You're not waiting for success, you're staging it like a Broadway production where everyone else is an extra in your story. The moment people believe you're destined for greatness, they'll move heaven and earth to be part of your journey. And that's when you've truly won. Lesson 2. Perception warfare. Controlling how the world sees you. In a world where attention is currency, your image isn't just important, it's everything. Most people let others define them through random impressions and social media algorithms. The Machiavellian approach is different. You will become a master of perception warfare. This means controlling every aspect of how you're seen, from your online presence to your body language in meetings. The first rule is simple: never let them see you sweat. Every public appearance, every post, every interaction is carefully curated to reinforce your desired image. If you want to be seen as an authority, you never say, "I think." You declare, "The truth is." If you want to appear successful, you never complain about challenges. You frame them as interesting obstacles you're overcoming. The second rule: create mystery. Elon Musk didn't become fascinating by posting his breakfast. He dropped cryptic tweets that made people speculate. The human mind is drawn to what it can't fully understand. The third and most important rule: consistency is key. Your image must be so cohesive that people feel they know exactly who you are, while simultaneously being intrigued by what they don't see. This isn't about being fake, it's about being strategic. Every great leader, from Julius Caesar to modern CEOs, understands that perception shapes reality. The version of you that exists in people's minds is more powerful than the real you could ever be. Craft that version with precision, and you'll find doors opening that most people don't even know exist. Lesson 3. Chaos engineering. Turning disorder into dominance. While ordinary people fear chaos, the Machiavellian mind thrives in it. History shows us that every major shift in power occurs during times of disruption: economic crashes, industry changes, social upheavals. Why? Because chaos creates opportunity for those willing to seize it. The key is what I call chaos engineering, the art of not just surviving disorder, but using it to your advantage. When the pandemic hit, some businesses panicked while others like Zoom saw their valuation increase 600%. That's the difference between reacting to chaos and engineering it in your favor. Here's how it works. First, develop chaos vision, the ability to look at any crisis and immediately spot the hidden opportunities. Second, become comfortable with uncertainty while others are paralyzed by fear. This is when assets are cheapest and talent is most available. Third, and most crucially, learn to create controlled chaos when things are too stable. Shake up your industry with bold moves when competitors are comfortable. Introduce disruptive ideas when the market seems settled. The Roman general Fabius didn't defeat Hannibal by meeting him head-on. He created so much strategic chaos that Hannibal's superior forces became irrelevant. In your world, this might mean launching a controversial product that reshapes industry standards, or making a career move so unexpected it resets how people value you. Remember, when everything is falling apart for everyone else, that's when you're positioned to put it back together exactly how you want it. Lesson 4. Strategic sacrifice. The art of losing to win. Weak minds think every battle must be won. The Machiavellian knows that sometimes you need to lose a battle to win the war. This is strategic sacrifice, the deliberate surrender of minor positions to gain major advantages. In nature, lizards sacrifice their tails to escape predators. In business, smart companies fail fast with test products to refine their winners. In your career, this might mean walking away from a good opportunity to position yourself for a great one. The key is making every sacrifice look intentional. When Google killed Google+, they framed it as focusing on more important projects, not as a failure. When you need to retreat, do it so elegantly that it appears like a step forward. There are 3 rules to effective sacrifice. First, always trade up. What you gain must be worth more than what you lose. Second, control the narrative. Your version of events must reach people before the truth does. Third, make the sacrifice dramatic enough that people remember it as a turning point, not a failure. History remembers Napoleon's retreat from Moscow as a tragic masterpiece, not a defeat, because he controlled the story. Your strategic sacrifices should be equally memorable. Maybe you leave a high-paying job in a very public way to pursue your true passion. Perhaps you shut down a successful project to focus on something more ambitious. Done right, these calculated losses become the foundation of your greatest victories. Lesson 5. The prophecy effect. Making others fulfill your success. The final and most powerful Machiavellian principle is what I call the prophecy effect, the ability to make other people work to fulfill your vision of success. This isn't about persuasion or motivation in the traditional sense. It's about creating such a compelling narrative about your future that others can't help but become invested in making it real. Think of how Tesla convinced the world electric cars were the future before they had the infrastructure to support them. Or how Steve Jobs described the iPhone in 2007 as revolutionary before anyone knew they needed it. You can harness this same power. Start by stating your success as fact rather than hope. When we dominate the market, hits differently than if we're successful. Next, create a bandwagon effect. People are hardwired to support what they believe others are supporting. Then, most crucially, reward early believers disproportionately. This creates evangelists who will recruit others to your cause. The psychological effect is profound. Once someone has publicly supported your vision, they'll work harder to see it succeed to avoid cognitive dissonance. This is how cults form, how political movements grow, and how billion-dollar companies are built. Your job isn't to do everything yourself. It's to create a story so compelling that others feel they must be part of making it come true. When you master this, you'll find resources, opportunities, and support flowing to you almost effortlessly. Not because you beg for them, but because people believe helping you is helping themselves. Machiavelli famously wrote that fortune controls half our actions, but leaves the other half to us. The difference between those who succeed and those who fail isn't luck, it's what they do with their half. After these 5 lessons, you now hold the keys to not just navigating the world as it is, but shaping it to your advantage. You've learned how to craft the illusion of destiny, wage perception warfare, engineer chaos to your benefit, make strategic sacrifices, and harness the prophecy effect. These aren't theoretical concepts. They're battle-tested strategies used by history's most effective leaders, entrepreneurs, and strategists. The question now is simple. Will you continue being a passenger in your own life, or will you take the wheel? Remember, in the game of power, there are no spectators. There are only players and pawns. The world is waiting to see which you'll choose to be. The beautiful part? That choice is entirely yours to make. Starting now. Starting today.